Look at how we get distracted. And we thought, we were telling the truth. But listen on, as the minister goes on, he says, we come to the mosque to learn about the law. And the whole lecture was on what white folks did to us. Well, at one point, that's necessary. But after you know what the white man did, and you know who he is, remember, knowing yourself, knowing your enemy, all right, Sun Tzu, y'all all right? Yes, he says, then what you got to understand, and what we got to understand is who we are, and since this enemy came from us, then there's something in us that produced him. And whether he lives or dies, we got to deal with the thing in us out of which a devil is made. Powerful teaching. All praises due to Allah for the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in effect, what Brother Farrakhan is calling you to is a lot more difficult than the past. Because I remember in the same talking, the minister says, if the brothers and sisters under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they were obedient. He said they tried to be righteous. And he said, and today it's a lot more difficult. He said, we don't have to be more righteous. If we could just be as righteous as they were, we would have the optimal success. Isn't that powerful? Now, we've seen the people of the past. I mean, they got things done. They didn't have no cell phones. They ain't had no smart TVs. They ain't have Bluetooth. They ain't have Wi-Fi. They had rotary phones. And if you didn't have, and wait a minute, and there wasn't no speed dial. That's right. That means your memory had to be intact. And most of us knew, how many numbers did you know? I mean, the list goes on. Some of us knew 20 numbers. Some of us knew 50 numbers by heart. Yes, now we can't even remember the area code of the person that we get ready to call. And we right here in Philly, so it's the same area code, 215, right? All right, let's go on, family. And because Brother Farrakhan is urging us to the supreme jihad, jihad comes from an Arabic root, jahada, which means to strive, there's that word again, or, which means struggle, or exert oneself to the fullest against any object of disapproval. Now, this is a difficult battle to engage against the white man, and that's a hard battle because he's an old seasoned warrior. But you haven't been in a battle until you try to battle yourself. Can I get a witness? Yes, sir. I mean, come on, y'all. You know, we do it every year, right? Make a New Year's resolution. That's a battle with yourself. I mean, how long I'm going to go to the gym? It usually lasts about 2 weeks, right? After that 2 weeks, it's back to the old way. You say, I went to work out. It just wasn't working out, you know. Simple as that, and we don't go. And that's how they give those specials every year because they know that people aren't going to complete it. They give it to you for $10. People come out for 2 weeks, and they don't have to worry about it. They just got their money. So if 1 million people do that, you know how much? That's $10 million, right, that they just got, and they don't have to worry about them people using their gym because we don't hold to what we say we're going to do. We're in the war of Armageddon, family. We're getting close. It says, this is something that's going on. These are some current events as it deals with this war of Armageddon. In the scriptures, it talks about there will be wars and rumors of wars. And that's all we're seeing now. Most recently, the president, he sent the USS Gerald Ford aircraft carrier to Venezuela. Said he fighting drugs that's coming into the country. What? This is a dope dealing, dope using society. And we know a lot of it is probably coming out of the White House. Because the planes, you know, you hear people talk about, well, we had a big drug bust. You know, they got a few $1,000s, you know, some little brothers that, you know, were unskilled at business or whatever they were doing out there. They got caught and we raided them. We got so many pounds of drugs and all that. No. A real drug bust? When you want to hear about a real drug bust, how many helicopters did they get? How many gunships did they pull in? No, I'm talking just real stuff. That's a big bust. How many politicians are going to jail right now? That's a big drug bust. Because the very ones who are talking against it are the perpetrators of it. And we can prove it at no limit of time. That's another subject for another time. But just let that move around in your mind. So he sent this aircraft carrier. As a matter of fact, he sent a fleet. And they showed some pictures of them blowing up these little tiny boats with these massive. Now, the Gerald Ford, that's the largest aircraft carrier they got. It's overkill. They could have sent Chuck Norris, Who the other marshal? Van Damme. They could have sent them down there. They could have took care of that. I'm just saying, family. But no, this is overkill. And these wars and rumors of wars, the war in the Ukraine is still raging. And Israel, just 4 days ago, they still bombing in the Gaza. They say that 1.5 million people are in need of emergency assistance. And you can believe that all those that are Palestinians, they're Muslims like you and I. So the Bible says that when you see things going on in diverse places, see it happening at your own doorstep. And I believe, this is Brother Joseph talking. You ain't got to tell nobody. Joseph said it was the truth. But this is just my take as an observational brother. This thing with the benefits, this SNAP thing and the collapsing of people not having health care, you know, pretty soon the real face of welfare going to come out. And it ain't going to be Tamika. It ain't going to be Rashid. That's right. No, it's going to be Skylar and Taylor. They're going to be the face out there because they're the dominant population here. They 85% of the population. Naturally, it's more of them on welfare and SNAP than we are. So to me, it's like they're using it because they know their people are, you know, they're hostile. They're the real berserkers. When things don't go their way, they take it to the street. We saw January 6th. They tore up the White House. Tore it up. And then they tried to rationalize it. But of course, the man who sent him down there, he back, right? For a repeat performance. But anyway, long story short, to me, it's like a bait thing because they want to justify having a police state. Now, a lot of the states saying, we don't want the National Guard on the streets in our city. And that's never a good mixture, having military personnel with civilians. I was in the military. Soldiers follow orders. Even though I was in the Navy, I understood the concept. They follow orders. So to me, the bait is when these people start with this anarchy in the streets, destroying stuff because they can't get the fundamental things they need to survive, they're going to call in the National Guard. And you know what America's going to have? The very thing that she never spoke out against when South Africa was doing it, apartheid. It's going to be right here in the streets of Philadelphia, Chicago, New York, everywhere you look, California. And you know the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the race war is going to start in California and sweep across America like a brush fire. It's coming, family. And these white folks, they see us walking around, we looking good. We come out, we get in our vehicles, we shining them up, we, looking dignified. They don't know they don't know about our warrior side. You don't want to, it's like putting a hairpin in a light socket. You didn't know that much juice is going to run through you. Well, that's what happens when you try to deal with a follower of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. There's God in us. The minister already told us, he said, y'all are like, all of y'all can't fight. You ain't supposed to fight, but unless somebody put their hands on us. He said, you're just a bunch of disgruntled Muslims. That's what it is. You waiting on a fight. And that's why we have to understand that we got to show love to each other. Because if we don't have an enemy to fight, we don't want to be jumping up in each other's chest here in the house or at the house. Either way, we want to have that control. That's why the self-improvement study course is so valuable for us. And that's where, it don't say it in self-improvement, but that turn the other cheek, that's for our brothers and sisters. Yeah. Because I know he's damaged. I know she's damaged. And for me to succumb and fall into that, then that shows how damaged I am. But if I can rise above emotion instead of thinking of God, then I can help quell a situation that would be otherwise futile. Y'all all right, family? Yes, praise be to Allah. So they're still bombing in the Gaza. So these wars are going on. But it's all designed to come after the little tiny nation of Islam. Yes, so when they bring the troops back in every city, our houses of worship are going to be under attack by the enemy with his troops. That taxpayer dollars, well, let me go this way with it. They're not even paying, they don't even want to pay the military anymore. They're going to pay them because they want them to, carry out the orders, and they don't want them to have a lot of deserters, but it will happen. It happened before. But if we could, brothers, do we have that clip ready? I want to show y'all something to let you know that we can be at ease with all the negative things we see happening. This clip will kind of balance it out for you if you're still on a little edge about, what's going to happen to us. Y'all all right? But it talks about something that they are afraid of in the beginning, and then it culminates with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan reassuring us. Can we run that, brothers? Okay, we got another minute. All right. do we remember at that House, it was a Judiciary Committee, that committee, that oversight committee, that they were interviewing those generals and those police captains, and they showed the baby plane flying, and their Hellfire missile, which is supposed to be the baddest thing on the planet. It decimates anything that it hits. And the baby plane is flying, and you know, the pilots on the plane can tune in on their thoughts. And even before they pull the trigger, they can move. But this one didn't, it just kept cruising. And they fired it, boom, that Hellfire missile broke into little fragments, and the baby plane never lost its trajectory. It just kept right on moving, just like that. Now, if you can't handle the baby, what about mama? What? Come on now, y'all ain't got no juice. No, all praises due to you. You ain't got no juice for Almighty God Allah. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that if I was the white man, I would just lay down. Lay down. Because you ain't, when your planes, when the war does start, he said the planes aren't going to even be able to get off the ground. They're just going to be there, easy picking. Easy picking. It's like a 26-year-old handling a 6-year-old. I use that 6, it's very significant, because that's the people we are. We ready yet, brothers? Did I close in on my minute? All right, beloved. Well, even so, family, this war of Armageddon is very serious. And again, the war isn't always going to be in the streets. Sometimes, you know, it can come up in the home. Right. And this is where we have to utilize all of our teachings to keep things, you know, settled. Because in truth, when this thing really unfolds fully, we're going to realize we are all we got. But in truth, we are all we need. We don't have to go nowhere else. We don't have to get no assistance from anybody else. We're going to realize, we might have to move some people back in the house with us just to keep them. Come on. We righteous Muslims. We're righteous people. Is it on? Yes, sir. It is? Yes, sir. Okay, Brother Calvin. Thank you, family.
One of them landed on the airport landing strip area. When it touched the ground, it created an earthquake like about a 3.5 to 4.0. It terrified everybody in the area. The back of this craft opened up, and several hundred young men with huge, heavy weapons came out of two sides of the ship and formed a protection line around the ship. And the people at that Air Force base, the commander, had a meeting with the individuals that were aboard this ship. And this particular race that landed those ships and that are seen in these huge cigar-shaped ships, they are a black race. They look like African Americans.
They are a black race. They look like African Americans.
Those people are the angels. They're up there. They know what you think. And before you can execute, they know it. These are the people from God.
They were about 6'4", 6'5". These tight-fitting black leather outfits on, and the weapons that they came out of the ships with, they were huge, huge weapons. And if you've ever seen a race of people that were conquerors, that had never been conquered, they've got this look about them of arrogance. That's exactly what these extraterrestrials had, and they informed these people at this American Air Force base that not only were they from a militaristic society, but they had controlled a large portion of the galaxy that we live in. And this was the statement that Ronald Reagan was making to the United Nations when he said that if all the countries on the planet realized that there was a threat from outer space and from an alien civilization, we would all come together. But he was not allowed to make this statement.
When we heard Elijah say these things, many of us believed, and some of us disbelieved. but Reagan a classified, bona fide liar. And all of the liars that have surrounded Reagan and Carter and Ford and all of the presidents since 1930, they have known that this plane exists. But why won't they tell the American people? It is because the white man does not want to admit that there is a technology in the world and a power in the world that makes his power look like that jumbo jet in comparison to that huge plane. He don't want to admit that he don't have what it takes to deal with that, what they call walnut-shaped object in the sky.
There is the ship that picked up the Voyager capsule at Alameda Naval Shipyard, and they have a picture there of I think it's the Apollo flight that Buzz and Neil were on. But anyway, there is one image there that shows black people getting off. That shows black people getting off. That shows black people getting off.
So people with dark skin getting off.
Not dark, black.
Black skin.
Really black. Yeah. Not dark, black.
Black skin.
Really black. Yeah. Not dark, black.
Black skin.
Really black. Yeah.
Were they tall?
Yes.
Very tall?
Yeah.
How tall? Do you know?
Well, they got out the doorway. I don't know how high that is, but
Well, what?
safe 7 feet would be probably a conservative estimate.
You can check your fall, America. You still have a little time. But you can't check it with weapons. And you can't check it by attacking me and calling me a nut. Because before you can call me crazy, these wheels will be seen all over America. All over America. They're coming down over the major cities. So you won't be able to say it's swamp gas or little lights and people were drunk. They'll be down over Chicago. They'll be down over New York. You will look up one day and see them, and I don't want you to be terrified. They're your friends, black man. Not from outer space. Not from nobody on Mars or Jupiter or Uranus. They're planes flown by the original people. People whose wisdom is far superior to all the scientists of this world. We had a wisdom before the white man was a thought that was superior to his wisdom in its fullness. He's just a little baby. And that plane is a sign of that greater wisdom. They can't touch it. They can't knock it down. There's no rocket that you got that can reach it. Because there are those on that plane who, like Jesus, if you read the scripture, Jesus knew his enemies' thinking. He knew their plans, and when they were planning, Jesus would always be somewhere else. Jesus, that power that Jesus had is on the wheel. And some of us are growing into that power even now as we speak. It's wonderful that God would choose a crazy, foolish people like us to manifest himself to the whole world who has been talking about God, longing for God, looking for God, hoping for God, and never believed and would believe that God would manifest himself among a dead and foolish people like we. All praise is due to Allah. You see, I'm backed up by a God. I'm not a preacher that don't have backup. And as you call for your backup, I'll call for my backup. And you don't want to meet my backup.
All praise is due to Allah. Dear family, thank you all for, putting up with your brother. And really, in truth, thank you for being out and wanting to hear the life-giving teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad as represented to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. We don't take it lightly, your being here. We know that your time is valuable, and you could have spent it anywhere, but you chose to spend it hearing the life-giving teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And giving us some comfort that no matter what the enemy does, we still gonna be the winner. That's right. Y'all all right? Yes, sir. The messenger said, I can't promise you that you won't get a hickey on your head. I can't promise you that some of you won't go to jail. And I cannot promise you that some of you won't lose your lives. But what I can promise you is the victory. That's all we need. So, dear family, while I was presenting, by the grace of Allah, the words that I was able to present by His grace and His mercy, another voice was talking to you. So my questions, the three questions are, how many of us out for the first time today? Any first timers or second timers? Oh, two hands go up. All praise is due to Allah. Give them a round of applause. Dear brother, who invited you out? Oh, praise be to Allah. Radio, social media, now with modern technology. How much faster can we move? Praise, thank you for coming out, dear brother. And who invited you, brother? Oh, Brother Jihad. All right, Brother Jihad, praise be to Allah. And if there's anybody downstairs, I can't see your hands, but I'm sure someone will come up and let me know, and I can shout you out on the mountaintop. But my next question would be that if you believe, if you're out for your first time and you believe that what you heard today is true, that it's good for our people and all of fallen humanity, just by a show of hands, how many believe that? Okay, praise be to Allah. And my next question would be that if you are out for your first time and this is your first time hearing this teaching, or maybe you've heard it before, you just want to do an investigation of it yourself. You know, our people play numbers. You know, our people are something else. You can't tell them what the daily number was. They got to go check it themselves because they don't want you to mess up their money, right? Well, what about the teachings of the Honorable Elijah and the truth of ourselves? It's best to just come out and check it out for yourself because you don't want nobody to give you some false intel. So thank you, brothers, for being out. So my next question would be, if you believe that what you heard today is true and good for our people, would you be willing to accept your own and be yourself? Meaning learn more about some of what you just heard today. Because people are going to be, they're in speculation right now because a lot of these things that are coming forth, you know, it's shady. They want to, well, who knows? And you know the enemy going to lie every chance he gets. Even when he calls himself giving the truth, he's still going to lie. So why don't you come out and get it from the real truth teller by accepting your own and being yourself? We all walked through that door and sit in them same chairs, and we were asked that same question. And now, here we are. I mean, I used to talk, but I didn't have nothing to talk about. I was just, going off and on. Now I got the Honorable Louis Farrakhan's words, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and by his grace and mercy, I can present it to you, and you can get something out of it by Allah's permission. So if you'd like to, on behalf of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, if you'd be willing to come to a class to do that, I would like to shake your hand on his behalf and our Delaware Student Regional Minister, Rodney Muhammad. There is no compulsion. I'm just putting it out there to let you know that it's an open invitation. The door is open to you right now. Because if you walk out that door and then all of a sudden the plane come over and start tearing stuff up, you say, oh, man, I should have went up in there. Don't wait. Do it now. Don't hesitate. All right. Okay, I'll let it marinate. If you'd rather do it a little more discreetly, there's the secretary's table downstairs. You could go and do it there, and the brothers at the table will handle you wonderfully, give you a smile, nice assalamu alaikum, and tell you when the next class is, which will be tomorrow night at 7:30. So, dear family, that's what Brother Joseph had to share today. Thank you so much for your indulgence, and may Allah continue to bless you and your family with love, the light of understanding, and peace as we walk through the valley of the shadow of death in this war of Armageddon. Assalamu alaikum. Let's bring back to the rostrum our brother, David Hassan. He'll close us out.
All praise is due to Allah. Let's give him one more round of applause. All praise is due to Allah. So as we close out, we have some things going on after the meeting downstairs for you, so we won't be long. We definitely have to address the charity for today. Y'all were well fed, is that right? Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. I got a good word, is that right? Yes, sir. All praise is due to Allah. We'll pray. Praise be to Allah. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the most merciful, master of the day of judgment in which we now live. Thee do we serve, and thee do we beseech for aid. Guide us, O Allah, along the straight the path of those upon whom thou hast bestowed favor, not the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they've heard thy teachings. And I bear witness that nothing deserves to be served nor worshipped beside thee, O Allah, who appeared in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, the great Mahdi. And we are grateful for you raising up for us the most honorable Elijah Muhammad to be your messenger and exalted Christ. And we are further grateful for the divine reminder and Messiah in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Ameen. Properly dismissed.